Welcome to a special episode of the CW Spiral. Usually we launch right in, but today we're going to be talking about Batman. So just wanted to get y'all geared up for what we're going to be discussing today. But we're going to start with Matt Lees's The Batman. So thoughts, opinions, hot takes.
I loved it. I really have to say. I mean, you don't really have to try hard to get me to love a Batman movie, like lifelong Batman fan here. But it was one of the best live action Batman movies. I know the consensus is that it's probably the second best one behind The Dark Knight. Um, I don't necessarily share opinions like that, but it's up there in the top 4 or 5 for me. Um, Robert Pattinson was excellent. The movie was excellent. The script was excellent, and it was very different. It was like a detective story, and it made use. We call Batman the Dark Knight. We call Batman the Cape Crusader. We also call him the world's greatest detective. And no movie has made use of that quite like the Batman did. So it was kind of like a 3 hour British thriller, crime thriller, and it just focused on the detective aspect of it. And I thought it was fantastic.
I have not seen it. I'm not in a rush to see it, but I'm happy for you guys and for everybody.
Well, it's amazing. I think everyone has seen like Selena Kyle's moments. Her fashion moments were awesome. I, like Michael, really loved that it was a detective story because we haven't seen that. And prior to it releasing, I had been talking forever about how it's the emo Batman of my dreams, right? Like it's very My Chemical Romance. He's brooding. He's socially awkward, which I really liked. Like his connection with Selena, it was there from the beginning, but you could tell he didn't know what to do with his attraction to her other than stand there awkwardly and stare. And I thought that really worked because that's Robert Pattinson, not his brand, but it didn't go a little Edward Cullen, but it had a moment, and I really enjoyed them. And I thought Riddler was terrifying, like absolutely unsettling, and that's different for him considering he's usually whimsical and still terrifying, but not in the way that they did in the Batman.
They definitely went the whole like serial killer route with this, and you've seen in like previous Batman games how the Riddler, being such a goofy, light-hearted villain, can edge towards the dangerous Saw-like territory, and the Batman kind of went all in on that and removed the whimsical. Everything about it, the costume, the look, the approach, everything about it was that much more grounded, and it really paid off in the story really well. And the fact that Bruce Wayne was barely even a character in the story, it was basically just Batman. Even when he wasn't wearing the outfit, he still behaved like Batman. So that was kind of really, there weren't multiple layers to the story as far as tones go. It all held the same kind of tone, and that kind of worked in its favor, because usually the Batman movies would have like the lighthearted Bruce Wayne stuff or the broody Bruce Wayne stuff, and then it would be centered on this Batman mystery villains kind of arc, whereas everything blurred together in this film, and I thought that was what really set it apart from the rest of them.
I think so too. Same with the character, the Gotham being a character in itself. I never want to
Mm.
visit that city ever, but it looked amazing.
Can I ask, what was the soundtrack like? Like, did the music mirror the like emo-ness, or was it just like regular score? Like, was there any My Chemical Romance? Did they not go that route?
No, so there is like obviously the Nirvana track that was playing that we'd heard from the trailer. I do not remember the musical moments, and I think they were largely instrumentals. And then I might be in the minority here. I thought they overdid his bat theme. I felt like I was always getting blasted in the ear with
Dun, 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 dun,
the
dun.
yes.
Yeah, they played the Nirvana theme, was it twice in the movie, which you don't usually hear the trailer song come back in the movie like with that sort of kind of that prominence. So that kind of added to the vibe of it. We knew what we were getting from the trailer, and the movie kind of adhered to that 100%. There were other songs. Ave Maria was played an awful lot, which was obviously on paper is quite an interesting choice, but it plays into the story quite nicely. Um, and then, yes, basically the theme was played over and over and over again. And I don't think it'll ever leave my head. But it definitely added to the whole like tone the movie was going for. It was an exquisite piece of music. It reminded me a lot of Batman the Animated Series. So even though it was quite a unique Batman story, it felt like it definitely paid tribute to other Batman adaptations before that. So as a lifelong Batman fan, I came away from it very, very happy.
Same. Though now that we're talking about the music, I'm trying to. Do you remember what was playing in the Iceberg Lounge, or was that just EDM noise? Like it didn't like that might not have been made like an actual song.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then it did some of them like tunnel shots where you just focused on like Batman walking through them and you couldn't really hear the sounds, but there was definitely like beats that it teased the music without ever giving it to us.
Okay, because I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that too. But it didn't hold my attention the way that the Nirvana song did.